If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I saw that out in the Renault Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice. They told me that less is simple.
GATV family, what's good, y'all? What's good? It's your boy Gravitating Away, and I came back with a special one. Hopefully, we can put all of this God praising of a man that bleeds and breathes like you to rest. What am I speaking about? The other day, you saw how important your one true savior, Tariq I scam my Griff Nasheed was at the California Task Force for Reparations meeting when they cut his mic. Oh, I know, FBA family. I know FBA. You thought this brother was revered around all spaces, and people couldn't wait to get their seats and hear the great Tariq speak. That was not the case. And before I even set anything off that could be considered as disrespect, I really want you guys to understand what I'm about to do right now. If you read the title, then you have an inclination that I'm trying to break everything down that this man represents or what he represents. I'm trying to break that shit down. Excuse me for my French, but I want to break all of it down. And it's important we get to the core of what I'm speaking of. I don't want to insult anybody that may be suffering through any illnesses, specifically dealing with mental trauma, but we have to take a look at what's really going on with this brother. And I'm trying to be as calm and rational as possible. I know some of you clicked on the video, you didn't see your dopamine and your crack right away, so you probably, got off. But if you're still here with me, this is a presentation, one that I would hope if you claim to be intelligence or have any of that, that you can be disciplined to remain in composure and just be patient and watch the show. Now, before we dive into this brother's possible illness, I just want to give you a definition of what mental illness is according to the American Psychiatric Association. And it reads as such: mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these. Mental illnesses can be associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. We're going to go ahead and scratch out the family part because Tariq doesn't like to highlight that he deals with tethers right at home, with those half white, half black children of his half white, half black wife, and his all white mother-in-law. Is there a problem with that? Of course not. But according to the foundational Black American Supreme Leader, Tariq Nasheed, that is not on lineage base. That's not on code. But of course, he's not going to, show that to you all. And you all are not going to hold him accountable as you do everybody that protects your Lord and Savior Tariq. We got brothers out here that won't even forgive their fathers, but they're clinging on to Tariq at such a height where you can't disagree. To disagree means damn near you get a death threat, y'all. But I'm starting off my presentation by breaking down what mental illness that I think this man is suffering from. And you can laugh and you can think it's a reach, but listen, I have the background in education, having been through the channels of psychotic medication in terms of prescribing it to my patients, understanding psychology in and of itself, being around psychiatrists all day, every day when I'm dealing with my youth who I advocate for. This brother fits in the category of a God complex. And you gullible folks put that on him. And before we continue, understand, we all can be susceptible to following someone or believing someone, because guess what? We're human beings. That's not what I'm knocking. But understand, change is the only constant. So if change is the only constant, and all the evidence that you've seen provided in front of you by so many people, why is it many of you choose to stick to Tariq Nasheed following? You choose to be in his cult. Some of you, if not many, don't even really donate for real. You just like the fact that Tariq helps promote your xenophobic rhetoric and hatred that you have in of yourself. Those of you that refuse to look in the mirror and realize you are the failure that you're fighting against, Tariq gives you a cop-out, an escape route to latch it on to other people and blame them. But before I go on a rant, as I have been, I can admit that, I want to break down what I wrote down in terms of his God complex. What is a God complex? Gravitating. A God complex is a personality pattern in which an individual believes they have great power or influence and are superior to others. Have great power or influence and are superior to others. It often includes delusions of grandeur, of course, narcissism. The boxer checking right now, huh? With this brother. Again, it often includes delusion of grandeur, narcissism, and exaggerated feelings of self-importance. That right there stuck out to me when I was writing this down. An exaggerated feeling of self-importance. Again, when this brother was at the California Reparations Task Force Committee, they showed him how important he is to this cause. Not so much. Not so much. In fact, this presentation has evidence for me to show you what type of unhinged, undisciplined brother who claimed himself to be a leader one day, the next day not a leader, because he understands his following. A lot of you will take Tariq words out of context and go do something foolish and stupid out there. And Tariq understands this. So he doesn't want to be liable for your foolish actions following this grifter. So he doesn't view himself, or rather promote himself, as your leader, even though he owns the trademark, makes all the money from all FBA merch, the flags, all that stuff. The same flag that will never fly over that hidden club museum he gave y'all. But let's continue. I want you to
trying to help this motherfucker for years, and he didn't act like he.
Let's watch your leader in work right now, shall we? This is a man who's your leader. Emotional, of course that's normal. But no control of it, that's not normal.
He did us a favor. He's acting like
this is Tariq talking about Dr. Umar Johnson, by the way, a brother who he was very friendly with in the beginning, with all those hidden color documentary that, you know, anyone with insight or knowledge could go Google that for themselves. But Tariq had Dr. Umar Johnson in Hidden Colors. But around this time, this was around 09-ish, Dr. Umar Johnson's status was elevating past Tariq. And as per usual, Tariq has a problem with someone getting more shine than him. So this is how he went after the brother. When you listen to him, you tell me if this is a leader or not.
He did me a favor. I made your movie hot. I made the Hidden Color series hot.
Ever so the comedian that he is. So funny, huh?
Bitch nigga, Umar, you've been in a whole bunch of fucking documentaries. None of them have popped off, fuck nigga. Are you listening, fat fuck ass nigga? None of them have popped off except mine. What are you talking about?
Man sounds like a baby mama arguing with her baby daddy in Walmart. That's how he sounds like.
Nigga, you've been in a bunch of fucking films and nobody never heard of them except mine. How you help me? You done a bunch of shit that don't pop off. How have you helped me? I got 2 movies now that's on the #1 spot. You ain't in them. How you help me? Fuck is you talking about? Is this nigga on the narcotic?
On the narcotic? Who speaks like that? On the narcotic.
You sound like a fat hoe. Your name is in my mouth. What you gonna do? Fuck all that. We can get in the boxing ring. We gonna fight. Stop tweeting it.
Them eyes stay bucking, by the way. But let's carry on with what we came here for, dissecting his mental condition. I don't care if you don't agree. I'm breaking all the points back out so you can see yourself. Let's continue. Someone like this may feel entitled to special treatment. FBA, blind witnesses, you guys follow him to a detriment. It don't matter. You'll follow that man everywhere. Everything but donating money. I don't believe most of y'all donated money to that museum. I'm sure some shady crap went on with those funds, but let's continue. Someone like this may feel entitled to special treatment, act as though rules don't apply to them, and generally disregard the needs of others. Yeah, like so-called providing a museum or Google documentary series when that's not what the community needs. This is a brother collecting funds throughout the community and gave you a so-called museum as if we don't have any. No artifacts, no promotional beneficial use to actual youth, but y'all let them get a pass on that. Again, rules don't apply to them and generally disregard the needs of others. They can also become intensely jealous and controlling. Intensely jealous and controlling. Let's go back to the Dr. Umar video.
And come fight. Stop all the Twitter banging, nigga, and come see me. What the fuck you talking about, nigga? I'm with the shits. Get off the internet and come see me. You know where I am, hoe-ass nigga. I'm not nowhere that's...
Imagine a leader that has all the time in the world to always pull up. Always pull up. Never anything else productive. This brother always, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up. He still thinks he's Flex from his goofy rap days. That's who this brother thinks he is. Flex from his goofy rap days. But what I want to show is the leader that you deem to be so worthy of the title that y'all gave him. This brother right here put a restraining order on Brandon, the host of Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. And sorry for using this as an example, Brandon. I have to. The same white supremacist system that he, galvanizes y'all about, that he stays pushing rhetoric about, this is what he's doing. This man right here went along on a route that you will call all of us a snitch for doing it, put a restraining order against Brandon because Brandon dared to do the dirty work most of you won't do, which is research who this man is. And this is what he did. Brandon did the right thing, recorded the entire affair. Legal purposes. I respect that. There you go, your boy Tariq with his non-FBA security, by the way. All this FBA talk, it seems like all this man's employees are white, Spanish, whatever. Everything but black and proud like he claims to be. Suit don't fit. I don't know what's going on with this brother. I don't know if this was for sure or not, but he looks like Jimmy D. Cricket his damn self. I don't know what swag this is right here. But by the way, you know that new dating channel he got? This is the man that's supposed to give y'all advice. According to one commenter of mine who came under my platform and left a comment, he says, Tariq been coaching and giving advice for many years. This is the brother giving advice? Again, the one that sounds like a baby mama? Mind you, this is a brother that's unhinged. He has no discipline to be a leader of jack shit. None of it. Look at his so-called FBA security. They're non-FBA. This is what you guys represent. Let's move further with what I was speaking on. The idea of a God complex was first described in a psychological context by Alfred Adler, an Austrian psychiatrist and funder of individual psychology. In the early 20th century, Alder wrote about people with an inflated sense of their own importance that was rooted in feelings of inferiority. He believed that such individuals sought to compensate for real or imagined deficiencies by trying to appear superior to others. Trying to appear superior to others. This is a brother that loves to boast about, I'm 6'5". I could pull up. You can't do nothing with me. The same brother that pulled up on another pathetic individual, I'm not a fan of this brother at all. Those words are harsh. And Tommy, my bad, but I'm not rocking with this whole, go against black women crap, whatever. We all got black mothers, daughters, etc. I'm not with that. But when Tariq went after Tommy Sotomayor on Vlad TV, trying to give a Coon Train Award, I thought it was so unbecoming of a man, of a leader, to go do that with all the cameras running. And y'all cheered and laughed like that was a cute moment. That showed a brother that really has psychological issues, can never control himself. Let's look at this real quick.
Crispy. I gotta give you your award. I just came to give him his award.
This is a grown man.
Crispy.
Theatrics with him, yo.
Award. Crispy. Let me give you your Coon Award, Crispy.
This is a grown man. This is a grown man.
Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to my homie Vlad. I had to give Crispy his Coon Award.
Vlad over there.
I had to present Crispy with his Coon Award. Watch out,
That's cool, though. No,
Crispy, let me give you your Coon Award, Crispy. Let me give you your Coon Award, Crispy. There you go.
And you let this roll, huh?
Let me give you your Coon Award.
I would feel sorry for Tommy, except for the fact, Tommy, man, you spoke so ill of our black women, and don't get it twisted. I know a lot of our black women, just as our black men, got to hold themselves accountable with all of their conduct and what's been going on with the influences of a lot of our people, passing it down to the younger generation. I say, hey, man, anybody could get it. Don't get it twisted. Anybody could get checked based off of their behavior. But I find it very sickening to liken the black woman to an animal the way Tommy does. So it's not that I'm protecting Tommy, from Tariq attacking him. I'm just saying Tariq, as a so-called leader, influencer, behaves like this, and y'all give him a pass. This is a brother that truly doesn't respect rules or boundaries or personal spaces. And I promise you, I don't allow people to get in my personal space like that. I get triggered real quick and things will pop off. Things will pop off. I can promise you that. But let's continue watching this foolishness, man.
Crispy.
Come on, man. You
Crispy.
Yeah, you did.
Crispy, let me give you your Coon. Crispy, let me give you your Coon Award. Crispy, let me give you your Coon Award. Okay, I'm a bounce. My bad. How you doing, though, Vlad? You good? Hidden Colors 4 available right now, family. I can bounce. All right, Chris.
You know the thing about Hidden Colors? Just real quick, let me talk to y'all real quick. In 2007, one of my homeboys put me on Tariq, and that's when I started following him. Even when he was pushing his Hidden Colors series, I wasn't interested in him like that. Because if you have any inclination of knowledge or to learn or to read, the information he brought out wasn't nothing like life-changing, nothing enlightening. And if you think I'm lying, go break down any Hidden Colors series he pushed out and just go to Google. You'll see how elementary it truly was. But the thing that I had liked about Tariq, I support any brother or sister that claims to fight against a certain supremacy. You know where I'm going with this, white supremacy. In my younger days, I was somewhat of a rebel. And I really believed anybody that fought against the system. So I didn't care about the, elementary work that any middle schooler could have put together. I didn't care about those hidden series documentaries. Matter of fact, we bootlegged those crap, Tariq. Ain't nobody supporting you with that mess. You just put some crap together and hope to make money out of it. I know what's a scam, bro. But I really thought, all right, he gonna back up whatever shortcomings he have with pushing forward a narrative that I could hop on board with calling out white supremacy, calling out everywhere in our community where, others didn't stand up for. So I followed him, not knowing that he literally was grifting. But as the years were going along, I paid attention. Like, yo, this brother had the More Us campaign. He was with ADOS pushing that crap. So many other agendas he tried to get going that didn't work. And this is why a lot of you think we're joking when we say this man is a all-out grifter. just when I thought the FBA movement was his last grift, all of a sudden he's resorting back to a dating grift. You know, the Mac Daddy Tariq Nasheed that he is, he's resorting back to that. So he has something new up his sleeve time and time again. But the point I'm trying to tell y'all is you're dealing with somebody that truly has a God complex. And I'm telling y'all got to pay attention to this man. I'm going to show you what else your God has going on that I don't respect. But let's continue with the breakdown. He believed that such individuals sought to compensate for real or imagined deficiencies by trying to appear superior to others. This is a brother you can't have a conversation with him without with him even acknowledging that you have any substance to what you're bringing forth to the discussion, if even, because he's so used to deflecting that you can't have a proper dialogue with the brother. He really feels like he's superior to anybody that comes along and wants to challenge his position. Let's continue. What gives someone a God complex? People with a God complex can be triggered by many different factors, including low self-esteem, feelings of powerlessness, or unresolved childhood issues. I think that box should be checked on everybody's radar. I truly believe this man who has an identity issue, I say, especially the way he talks and goes back and forth with women, back and forth with men, he really sounds like a baby mama. I ain't making that up. This brother is moist as they come, using words like bussy, talking about male anatomy parts that I'm not going to repeat. That's not who I am. I really think this brother has an identity crisis, and a lot of these brothers, they have a inflated sense of the way they talk about what woman they conquered, how many women they bagged and smashed. They'll even have a couple of children around, and so you can think that everything is straight with them. Everything is straight with them. Now, I've seen this. I've seen this. Those brothers be the worst ones. I'm telling you, man. Dare I say this right here? This is a man that made an entire cartoon focused on the brother's derriere.
Well, Bucci, because it's taken so long for you to effectively
this is a brother infatuated with another man's behind.
Assign you to a backup team.
Who's the backup team, Bob?
Well,
And y'all
let me show
laugh
you, Bucci.
and find it funny. A leader that has time to use resources and funds to make a cartoon specifically focused on a man's derriere and another man's face in Taharka Bay. See, these things that you reserve for Tariq to get away with, you'll never hold us unaccountable to that. In the streets, in reality, in your personal spaces, you'll never allow us to be dismissive on this. You're going to hold us to the fire of, hey, man, why you worrying about a brother's ass? Why you worrying about another man's face? How ugly or how pretty he is. That's weird, right? And I'll clap that up. That's what's up. You're supposed to check somebody who's acting weird like that. But yet Tariq gets all of y'all laughing. The God complex. The God complex makes an entire cartoon on a man.
He's a Frankenstein.
This is sick to me. I ain't going to give it too much attention. I'm just telling y'all, while breaking this down, you really got to pay attention to who this man is. I make no qualms about how I am coming after him because it has to be done. I want to show you how triggered this brother truly gets. Let's continue on with the presentation. They may also have an overly protective or enabling parent who fostered these feelings by constantly praising them and making them feel special. Some of the biggest peoples that's talked about macking, etc., or whatever, they had mothers that was, you know, dare I say, a whore. A father that was a pimp. And this brother, either he's went through that or the other obstacle. A mother who refuses to let her son grow up. So she overly praises him. Tariq was a mama's boy. If you can't see that, all his gestures and mannerisms comes from a single mother household. I ain't knocking on my single mother households. I'm just saying you got those of us that knew how to separate that. And for the majority, it swallowed you whole. Your mannerisms, the way you talk, The way you get triggered and want to attack and be so violent comes from a woman. You watch your aunties and them sit around the table and gossiping all day. That's what Tariq does. Again, it says, or enabling parent who fostered these feelings by constantly praising them and making them feel special. Let's move on. A licensed mental health counselor once suggested to me that a child may be at risk of developing a God complex if they were overly praised or not held accountable. Overly praised or not held accountable. You know, like the museum he promised y'all. You saw the digital portrayal. Then you saw the actual physical building that he had to, you know, quickly purchase after Brandon blew up his whole spot. So he had to give you something to pretend he was, yeah, I'm working on this for real. And it's nothing of comparison to the digital portrayal he gave you. Then it went from the actual physical building that you saw with non-FBA employees all around to the hidden Boom Boom Lounge. You know, Faded Glory Vivica Fox was there. All the usual suspects, Dr. Kaba, Afro Elite, no offense to you, brother, you was hanging over there. Just a bunch of fanboys and girls hanging around. A good old time, but not one person could have displayed or properly break down how all of this can transpire, or I'll say this, can translate to be benefiting young children, young black boys and girls. Nobody in there broke that down. I saw posters from his Hidden Colors elementary series everywhere. No artifacts. Things Taharka Bey even broke down that Tariq and them got from Amazon and now is selling to you at the museum. That's what you got from this brother. Again, this says was overly praised or not held accountable for their behavior. Even when this brother went after Taharka Bey, by the way, let's play that. Even when he went after Taharka Bey, none of you said anything about it. Look at this man walking down on Taharka Bey. Who cares if Taharka was there? Did he represent a threat? Did he put his hands on you? I was taught you don't react until a man puts their hands on you. Look at Tariq. Tariq was upset because he know Taharka been putting that work on that man, exposing his ass. And he couldn't hold himself anymore. But this is your leader. He wasn't held accountable for this. Y'all all laughed when he came on Twitter. I just slapped me a, you know what? Look at this man walking Taharka down. Now, whatever you got to say about if you was Taharka, what you would do and what you wouldn't do, all that BS, that's not the point. Y'all all dismiss what Tariq did, though. This is your king, your God, the deity that you have created. Never hold him accountable. So far, is all the words of this breakdown aligning to his God complex? Is it aligning property, y'all? Y'all think I'm just hating? Let's continue. If a child was shielded from consequences, or otherwise not held accountable when behaving poorly, they may have not developed proper consequential thinking or respect for rules and boundaries. Respect for rules and boundaries. If this brother had any respect for the title that he has been given by you gullible fools, that we don't spend enough time talking about, by the way. We liked, even me, I'll take the blame on this. I get to talk about Tariq based off of things that I've seen growing up in the 90s. The xenophobia crap that was going on. Me thinking, man, I'm black like the next brother. You know, I'm in the same neighborhoods, dilapidated communities, going through the same hustles. Why does it have to matter who my mother is, who my father is? But you need to know the roots of where I belong so you can put me in my space like a damn KKK member. So when Tariq speaks or promotes certain issues, I'm seeing that awakening again. And it was such a bad time in that era. A lot of you don't know. But these old folks that follow him, which is in the bulk, 40s and 50s, y'all the ones teaching y'all children this crap. You like to say, oh, nah, it's the immigrants teaching them this and that. Well, let's break this down once and for all. Folks, there are 100 million documented immigrants in the United States. I repeat, there are 100 million documented immigrants in the United States. Ask me how many out of that 100 million immigrants documented are black. Ask me how many. Only 3%, i.e. meaning 3 million. 3 million out of 100 million is 3%. You're devoting your time, your anger, your emotions to 3% of a people while leaving the 97% unscathed. I'm not going to even talk about if you should go after those immigrants or not. I'm talking about the other non-black 97% immigrants. I'm just saying, I notice how the smoke, the energy is different when you coming after other black people. Those are traits of a coward, by the way, of a coward. 3 million are documented in this United States, and you're saying that 3% is who's taking away from your mouths, from your children. Oh, they're trying to get my reparations. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Now, I wasn't going to just be going on and on. I had to break this complex down. You guys know who to give a pass to versus others. And it's a problem. The God complex that Tariq Nasheed has been elevated to must come down. And I'm telling you, I don't care how you come at me about, oh, you hating on this brother, you this, you that. I don't care. I don't care. It is my responsibility to go after anywhere in the corner of somebody that's promoting these type of talking points, taking from the community, hasn't done a work. And it's not really about me coming after Tariq. It's me coming after the God that y'all worship. Those of you that do follow him. I want to take your power away. I want to take your power away. I want to present it right in front of you. And if you still can't see what's in front of you, I'm going to make it crystal clear. I'm going to keep my foot on this man's neck because I know what he's doing. You can play the fool if you want, but I'm not that. I'm not that. He is evoking sentiments from the 90s. I remember this stuff. I grew up on that. Getting jumped, getting attacked because my parents ain't from the same place that your parents is from, but I was born and raised here, saw all the trials and tribulations, made sure I educated myself to understand I am no different than the next brother, meaning I'm not going to be the one that you claim calls you a kata, that comes from one group in Africa, but you aligned it with all the black Caribbeans, all the black Africans. You just categorize. You learn very well from your white daddies, your white slave master. You learn how to categorize, how to throw everybody in the same barrel. Y'all learned that crap. But I ain't going to take much longer, man. I just had to break down this God complex, the mental illness Tariq Nasheed is suffering from. If those of you are suffering from the same conditions, I wish you a speedy recovery. And I think your FBA followers, Tariq, should really pray for you. I know how this God complex comes crashing down. I know how it comes crashing down. Even being the agent that you are, them boys, if you know what I'm saying, that trench coat mafia can't save you. I know how this complex comes crashing down. And before it do, I just want your people, them, to see this shit. I want them to feel it and understand I put my face out there. I'm not like your blind followers who push all this xenophobic crap on the internet, but they're going to hide their face in public. They're not going to let people know what they believe. They're going to hobnob and do business with all folks in all areas. It's just when they come to this space, they get to vent and be who they want. They say the internet is undefeated. I say God is undefeated. They say the internet is undefeated. I say God is undefeated. And my mission is to challenge those of you who wants to disagree with me. Have the courage and put your face on what you stand for, what you claim to stand for, FBA, right? How do you feel attacking 3% of a group that represents people that look like you? How do you feel? I say you're the best slaves ever created then. If this is the hill that you're going to die on, I say you're the best slaves that were ever created. And let that resonate. Your God is coming down. The God that you worship and give all praises to is coming down. This has been Gravitating Away, having great fun breaking this down. And if you think I'm lying, I'm challenging you. Let's have a debate on this. Your king, Tariq Nasheed, is suffering from a God complex because none of you have held him accountable. Those of you that are close to his corners has let him carry on from one grift to the next, and that time is coming to an end.